Come on, don't do that. All righty. Come on, what's wrong with you? Okay, I think there it goes. There it goes. All right, so at first, I was not going to do this video publicly. I was going to kind of keep it for which we will dive deeper into it in my creative business session this evening. Happy ever. Um, Folks like the mixed up words. So, yes, because I am an instructor of all things related to business within this industry and having retail. I feel like you guys could learn a lot from this, no matter where you are in your level or stage of business. So, we're going to talk a little bit about customer service and what defines good versus not so good or bad customer service. All right. Is this something that you guys can benefit from as startup businesses? You're new to this, new to dealing with customers. I want you to also think about some of the interactions that you have had. And if there has ever been a situation where in the heat of the moment, you have maybe thought that it was bad customer service, but once you really think about it and cooler heads prevail, are you able to see where you potentially were at fault in, or not to say where you were at fault, that's the wrong words, where you can show some grace because you understand that things happen. And maybe you probably overreacted a little bit, depending on how something went down. So this is going to be a really big teaching moment. And I'm going to go ahead and I shared it out. Well, I'm actually broadcasting to my groups, but I do. Oh, you know what I just realized earlier today? I did not change. I went through sharing it, but I did not change my audience. So let me go over here so that I can change the audience on this particular one. Okay, so edit audience, public, save. Okay. He says, "Uh-oh, I'm tuned in. I'm tuned in." All right, so I'm gonna let you guys kind of come in real quick. I'll probably recap. Well, I'll be able to go over it again. As far as so it's like what's the theme song? Okay, here's a situation. I am Shakia, the professor of HS Ink 365. We are the home of the amazing product line. Honestly speaking, we carry sublimation ink, sublimation paper, pigment ink, heat tape, cartridges, and chips for the Epson Workforce 7820, 7840, and 7310 printers, which happens to be at the center of why we are doing this video today, okay? And talking about customer service. And because I am live, I am also opening myself up to your perspective and your stance and your point of view. Maybe I am wrong in my way of thinking about this whole situation. So, once again, hello. Go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, share it out. I'm telling y'all, it's going to help you and it's going to bless you when it comes to this whole thing of customer service and whether or not you recognize when it really is good customer service versus bad, maybe even help you in how you handle your customers. I will say this, whether you are watching the live play, or I'm going to ask this, whether you are watching the live video or watching the playback, in everything that you have ever dealt with when it comes to us as a brand, honestly speaking, us as a company, being completely honest, what would you rate it customer service wise? Have you ever had a situation where you would say that it was bad customer service? And I'm even going to say for myself, I know when I get sick, I've had some situation with my migraines, like the kids got sick. I just become human and I may not communicate as well as I should have with sending out emails and things like that, like beforehand, because I'm sick. I just want to go lay down. and then trying to catch up with that. But as far as once you actually speak with us or you have identified an issue with us, what is your rating of our customer service if you have ever done any business with us? So I'm going to let you guys think about that for a moment. All right. And then I have another question for you guys. For you in your business, being completely honest with yourself, does the threat of blasting you on social media, does the threat that I'm going to tell my other people to not do business with you, does that scare you to the point where you cave in, go against your terms and conditions policies, and you give in to customers or you discount things? Do you experience that? Being completely honest, do you ever let that fear that of a bad review, someone blasting you on social media, or saying that they're going to get all their friends to not purchase from you as a business owner, would that completely freak you out and have you doing some things that you probably normally wouldn't do? And I love the fact that you said thus far. I mean, because that means you plan to continue to do business, and technically that leaves the door open for maybe something to happen. But I mean, like I said, thus far it has been great. Someone says, nope, that doesn't work with me. I hate them threats and I end up giving customers what they want. Okay. Thank you for your honesty in that. Anyone else? Anyone else care to answer before I move on to the next point? I'm currently going through an issue now about an order I placed on February 7th, and it sucks, but have not bashed anyone. So is it with us or with someone else? Okay, so haven't had that, so haven't experienced it. All right, cool beans. So here is one of the things that kind of went down, right? You guys know that the Epson 7820, 7840, 7310. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Have I, for anyone that's been following me for any amount of time, have I or have I not stated that these chips, and I've even demonstrated it, that these chips may or may not work in your printer? Right or wrong? Have I not also stated on our website, which no other person does, like most people that sells these, they don't even offer it, where if you let us know within the correct window, according to our refund policy, that we will refund you the cost of that item minus any shipping costs, because we just don't refund shipping because it still has to be sent out, correct? That has been the policy. For anyone that has ever done business, if you've had a situation where your chips did not work, was there ever an issue with you returning them and having them or getting a refund? Or in the beginning, it used to be we replaced them, but we just couldn't do that anymore. And I've explained about these chips. Okay. Yep, you said that. Correct? All right, cool beans. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So, if someone was to purchase something, let's say a year ago, almost a year to the day, in March 2022, you purchase a product, it did not work. This has been our policy from day one of having these chips. Is it fair to hold that if you now have a new situation? Is it fair to hold what happened a year ago over my head because you as the consumer chose not to contact us for the replacement? Should that be held over my head? She says, girl, bye. Okay, not at all. Not your problem. No. Okay, hell no. Okay. Nope. All right. We all kind of seem to be on the same page here. So if you chose to not contact us, we have email. I still somewhat entertain sometimes, messages in inbox. We have our business inbox. We have chat on there. You chose to not reach out in any way, shape, or form for chips that did not work a year ago. You've set up your printer and you have not, according to you, you got 5 prints, sublimation prints out of it, and you have not been able to use your printer for a whole year. A whole year. All right? So you decide, well, to me, that means you gave up on that printer. Hearing it after the fact. So you decide, okay, I'm going to order another set of chips. So you place the order for the chips. Then a few days later, you get notification that the chips have been delivered to the address that it was shipped from. So now we're going to get into what the situation is. This is what happened. Customer ordered them on a particular day. I forget what day it was. They end up contacting us via phone and says, hey, I just got notification on an email saying that my package was delivered, but I'm showing that it was delivered to the address that it was shipped from. I go, I investigate, I'm on the phone with them. I look into it and I look at the shipping label, and it was sent to the incorrect address. Now, I don't know what happened with it, but on our end, it showed an incorrect address. All right. And so it was sent back to us. Upon seeing that, I don't know, it showing us how it was put in. So we said that, hey, we will send you out. Well, we actually got it back. We will send out these chips to you again. I went, I put in the address, right? So called it back to her, put in the address. And y'all know, I always say, I don't deal with fulfillment. I just kind of put the information in there. So it was, once we got it back, we let her know that, hey, we don't cover shipping. If there was incorrect, especially if there's an incorrect address, however, we will send them out. You do have, because it was the wrong address was put in, you're going to have to pay shipping to have it sent back to you. All right. So in processing the shipping label, they had ordered stuff from us before. They had ordered twice from us, but they were from different addresses. They moved, and it was a different one that was defaulted in the system. They never went to actually update their actual shipping address or remove the other ones. So when our fulfillment department went to go and fulfill the order, it defaulted to one of the previous addresses. So it was sent out to a location that they don't live at. They don't know the person that lives there. So they contact us again. Hey, I got an email. It was delivered, but to an address that I don't live at. So I said, my apologies. I did change it in the system. I didn't realize that you had 2 additional addresses there. So when Even went to go process it, it defaulted to one of the other addresses. So I will basically, I'll tell you, well, so for me, I said, well, what I'll do is, even though that one has not come back to us yet, because it had just got delivered that day, I will send out another set of chips. So now this is technically 2 sets of chips that are going to be out. I will send out another set of chips, right? It was after 3 p.m., which is after our window for shipping. So technically, I would have had to wait until Friday for Even to come in and Even to ship it out, and she wouldn't have gotten it until Tuesday. So I said, okay, well, you know what? She really needs it. I came back to the office, shipped them out on Thursday so that she can get them on Monday. No cost to her, nothing like that. So in me shipping it out the third time, was that taking responsibility for the oversight of the second shipment that went to the wrong address? Let me know your thoughts. Me sending out the third shipment without saying you had to pay for it, because a label was created for the wrong address. Even though the new address was put in the system, the label was created for the wrong address. So me shipping it out, was that not taking responsibility for the oversight? I've explained this over and over and over again about the chips. As a consumer, it's our responsibility to communicate with the vendor, especially when you send out follow-up emails. Exactly. Okay. Did my due diligence in that, right? Yes, it was. Okay, boom. You rectified it, so you take responsibility the third time. All right. So now, here's what happened the third time it was sent out. I have no idea what happened with this address. I have the screenshots of exactly how I typed it in, right? And for some reason, I'm not sure if it's a new build. I don't live in this location. So I don't know if it's a new build or something or whatever, but for some reason, the system is rejecting this particular address. And when I sent it out and put it all in there, made sure everything was there, it defaulted. And sometimes the system does that. It'll say, we don't recognize this address, like, and we'll send it to the customer to say, this is what they're saying. But we didn't really get that warning. It just created the label for it. Well, it was sent out to a different location again. In the same state, in the same city this time, same zip code. The addresses were literally one word. There's a street where there's one word in front of what it should be, and it's separated. It did something weird, but it was not on us. I have the screenshots. One thing that I will say about Shopify that I absolutely love is that it documents everything that you do. So it said on there, you changed the address to, and it shows exactly how I inputted it. Explained this and had the screenshots for the customer and how I put it in there. It went to the wrong location. They said, this is nowhere near me. I'm not going to be able to go get it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. I put it into Waze. I put it into Google Maps and saw that it was a 1.5-minute drive. It was all of, does it say 3? It was 1.5 minutes away or something. I think is what it said. Something in there. Let's even say if it was 3 minutes away. So I contacted, when we were on the phone, the person said, hey, this goes to this location. I went on the internet. I looked it up. And I said, well, let me back up. We got the call on Monday, that Monday evening, last week. And it was, hey, I got the notification it was delivered. Wasn't delivered here. I go and I look at it again. It's now a different address. I don't know what this is. I'm on the phone we're both looking up the address. She said where it was. I also repeated because I'm looking it up. So I said, I don't understand what's going on. She's going off. I need my product. I've tried to purchase and patronize with you a couple of times. I still don't have a working printer. This has been an issue for over a year. So this is why I asked you guys that. So for someone to say that this has been an issue for over a year, I was not aware of what happened a year ago. So you can't throw that in my face and hold that over my head for what's going on in this situation. The first time, I don't know if you inputted it wrong or if it was the system. At that time, like, I didn't have this experience to know that it was going to change it. So I'm like, well, I'm not sure what's going on. But even with the chips out there, we will go ahead. So I was going back and forth with her, and it's the entitlement, or I can't stand when people come at you about, well, money is an issue. It's the principle of it. Or, I got plenty of money, blah, 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 blah. Like, this whole thing, I work here, I work there, I have plenty of money. That's not an issue for me. I'm trying my best to figure out what's going on. It's like, well, ma'am, I didn't send it to the wrong location. This is how I put it in. I read it back to her. And so I said, only thing I can say that I probably took fault in is I spoke what I was thinking. So I made a comment to say, this is why it is our policy to have customers go in and make any changes, because if you make a change and it was wrong, it's on you. So now if I do it, it's that I put it in wrong. So my comment that I kind of spoke out loud, which I meant to say to my head, was, this is why this is our policy to always have customers make any changes to their contact information. Well, you told me not to. You were taking care of it. And that's when I realized I effed up, because I know, again, that was me just speaking out loud. Like, the frustration kind of came out. But it didn't, I promise y'all, it did come out in the wrong way. So then I was like, she's going back and forth. She's hollering, telling me who I need to call. And I said, well, ma'am, I can call the post office. They're just going to simply tell me that based off of their GPS, it was delivered to the address that we both know exactly where it is. But that is not going to change anything. It's not going to get it to you. I don't even know what this is. This is all right, cool. I said, well, ma'am, what I can offer you at this time is a refund of your product. That way you can go and you can get it from somewhere else, because I'm not sure what's going on. It just seems like there is difficulty in you being able to get these chips from us at this new address. So I said, hey, we'll go ahead and refund you. But I have orders. If you would like, what you can do is the chips that you already have that, since you said those don't work, you can go to Epps, you can go to the store, get the Epson chips, and you are able to take them off and put them on. Walked her through completely how you have to do that, because you have to modify the chip, everything. So again, did I not provide? I offered you a refund. I also offered a solution in the meantime. Is that not good customer service? Was that not good customer service? Or was that what? I guess that's the question. So then she asked, is there anyone that you can recommend to get the chips from? Typically, I'm not going to give you no competitor. Come on, let's be for real. How be ever? I love my folks over there at the Blank Spot. So I said, well, I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I said, but I do know I have, Dee and Eric over at the Blank Spot. They sell the chips. Now, honestly speaking, we have a policy where we will refund it. So for me, because I am recommending somewhere else that does not have the same policy as us, I felt it was important to inform you, because this is an issue with the chips. It's already a bad situation for you. You don't, it's been a year and you've not been able to use this printer. So I said, well, I normally would not recommend someone else, but I recommended, checking out the Blank Spot. However, they do not have a return policy when it comes to these chips. So if you happen to get them and they don't work, you're going to be without chips. I didn't ask you for that, whatever money's on. I have you're sending it to me. I don't care about the money. Ma'am, I didn't say anything about money. I'm just letting you know because their policy different from ours. I don't want you going to say, well, why you recommended them? I got these chips. They don't work. They don't want to take responsibility. They don't, because you like to throw that word around. People don't take responsibility. So that's all I said was, and she went on that. I don't know what it was by me saying that the blank spot does not have a return policy for them. It made her go ballistic about money and telling me who her husband is, what he do, what she do, where she work at, how much money she makes. Okay, ma'am. Okay, like I don't know what you want me to do. So finally got her off my phone. Get up in the morning. I come into the office. I contact the location, went to their website, contacted them, got their corporate office, got the name of the person in the logistics department at the place that is local to her. Spoke with him. He knew exactly what it was, thanks to that whole branding situation, to where he knew exactly what the package was. And I said, well, is it possible for you to hold it so that she can come this minute and a half, according to Waze, it's a minute and a half. She can come this minute and a half to come pick it up for you. Okay, no problem. I'm going to go have them pull it. So he went to the person, whoever I guess does some other, like one of his coworkers or staffers or whatever, and they said USPS just picked it up. Oh, I'm sorry. Back up. Oh, no, I told you I offered her a refund, right? But I was still, even though I offered her a refund, technically I was done. Done. I offered you a refund. I still went to contact the company because she still needed it. And it's like in your city. It's the same zip code. But it was sent out already. All right, cool beans. So when she contacted me, it's 8 o'clock at night. I'm not looking into your account that deep. Got in the next morning. I noticed that she paid with Sezzle. It is listed and it is posted in our refund policy that we don't offer refunds for Sezzle because, one, we are taking a humongous hit. If you guys don't know, when it comes to Sezzle, you as the merchant take a really big hit compared to credit card. Now, no process, does it to where they're going to ever refund your processing fee if you ever have to do a refund. You just basically lose that. But when it comes to Sezzle, it is almost 3 times the amount. Actually, it's over 3 times the amount that the processing fee if you guys use Sezzle, right? So our policy is it's a store credit because it's a big hit to process the refund through there. We also don't refund shipping. So I sent an email and said, upon review of your account, we see that you paid via Sezzle for $68. Therefore, this is your options. I said, you can either get the refund via a store credit, or if you would like, once we receive the chips back, because at this point I have 2 sets of chips out there. Once we receive even one of them back, we can ship it out to you. I'm trying to figure out, are we, let me know. Is there anywhere where I have offered bad customer service? Let me know. Because to me, in my head, I did a whole bunch of shit. I feel like I've done. I would have offered her a refund and been done in that call. You tried to rectify it. It's no human error at this point. Okay. So, did all of that, sent the email, got an email back. No, I don't want no store credit. That does not do me any good because it's been a year that I have not been able to use this printer. You can't talk about a year ago because you didn't contact us for that. Stop saying this year crap. So for right here, right now, I don't want that. I want it back in the way. But our policy says this. I don't like to go against my policies. This was not, and see, some people will say it's not a big amount, right? And so she kept saying that. Oh, you want to do this and you want to be petty over a few pennies, da 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 da, telling me what my business does, and she has money and all these things. It's not about the actual amount of money. If you do it for one, you set the precedence to do it for all. Yes, this one was $68 and we would have been out around like 8-ish something or whatever. But what happens when this is, because we have several things that are kits, $130 order, $300 order, $500 order. 6.8% is a lot to lose when we're talking about a $300 order. Okay, so this is another thing, right? Isn't a store credit still a refund? Exactly. If you did it once, you'll be expected to do it twice. I don't know how she thought she was going to get it back, because a store credit is still a refund. Am I tripping? Just offering a refund in the first place was nice, in my opinion. Okay. So she goes, I get this really nasty message, this email that tells me, no, I don't want it back in that manner. That ain't how I paid you. I want it back X, Y, and Z. You're being petty. You need to take responsibility. This is horrible customer service. I have tried to patronize your business on more than one occasion, and I still don't have blah, 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 blah. Ma'am, I don't know what you want me to do at this point. But I do know. Well, so I didn't even bother to answer that. Like at that point, I was in Atlantic City. Once she said she didn't want the store credit, she didn't want, I'm now going into straight up, you're about to follow the policy. Our policy for refunds is you get your refund when we get our product. Point blank and the period. You get your product, you get your refund when we get our product. Therefore, I'm just you okay, you wanted your refund. I'll refund it once we get our product. For whatever, one of them has to come back in order for you to get this refund at this point, because you didn't want the store credit. So now I'm going to revert back to what the policy is clearly stated, because we have ours listed on our website. You can go, you can click on it. It tells you all of our terms and conditions and our store policies. So, and me being very foolish, I end up returning calls. I did not pay attention to what the number was. So I spoke with her. She was like, well, I'm trying to figure out what's, well, how did she say it? She called me basically going off. She had a whole audience because she said, ma'am, I don't like how you're talking to me and you're treating me as a customer. I don't know. She's like literally on the verge of tears. And I have people here who are witness that you're talking to me aggressively. Ma'am, I don't know what you want me to do at this point, because I can't just make the chips appear. I gave you the option to say you could have your refund according to our policy as a store credit, or as we will ship it back to you once we receive it. Neither one of those were good enough for you. So I'm trying to figure out why we still having this freaking conversation, because I ain't changing it at this point. She's going off. No, this is when she tells me her husband is a lawyer. She has all this money. She has all this pull. She's going to sue me for the $68 that she put on Sezzle. And yeah. So I left it alone. I was on a business trip. At that point, it was definitely the weekend because this was a Friday. I'm not dealing with any of this on a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. I go to check these messages, y'all. No, my bad. back up. So the same way that I tell you guys, always follow up with emails, make sure it's in black and white, everything. So I even explained to her, I said, well, yes, ma'am. I said, well, you should be receiving an email. Because that day actually, because it was still, that was what, Friday by the time this happened. So technically still within the work week. So I always take my laptop. So I was going to send the email on Friday once we got back to the hotel. And so I said, well, ma'am, I was like, well, unfortunately, right now, I'm not at my desk or at my computer. I'm at an expo, but you will be receiving an email as to uh, what the options are at this point and outlining everything, because I was going to send a full timeline of all correspondence. I had all of my screenshots ready to go, how I typed it in. So she just started going off. Once I said I was going to send the email with the full outline and then what was going to happen, because she sent, she called us going off again. And well, she's not called it. She sent the email saying that we were bad business. We need to take responsibility. She called me petty. She da. So at this point, I'm going to keep it 100% business. You're going to get your email. You're going to get the full timeline of how everything happened. And at that point, I had actually decided from talking to others, it's not it's I understand me trying to stick to my policies, but I respectfully needed to break up with your behind as a customer. So it was y'all know my professional clapbacks, baby. So it was going to be a very professional email to say, hey, this has been the timeline of our relationship. And at this point, to respectfully end this relationship permanently, we'll go ahead and give it to you. I'm going to take that hit. Don't call me no more. Don't visit my website. It was going to be very professional in that manner. Don't come over here no more. Go be somebody else's headache. I'm sorry, Dee and Eric, if she ends up being your headache. My bad. So then I get an email, I get a voicemail. Don't send me no email. Don't send me nothing. If you can't send me my product back, hold up. That was in the second email that you could have gotten and sent back to you once we got it. You said you didn't want that. You were adamant. Felt like you called me everything but the child of God. And you said you didn't want it. So now that I'm going to treat you, look, I tried to keep, I'm going to go and follow every policy to the T. Oh, now the issue is why I'm not sending it back. I recorded all the conversations. I'm recording this. I have people sitting right here. Well, they know that I am requesting that you do not send me any more emails. Just do the right thing. Take some responsibility. Send me my stuff. Wait, what? Huh? Because that ain't what you said. If you don't, I'm gonna blast you on social media. Oh, I have so many people who I have brought over to your company, and I'm gonna make sure that they never buy from you again. Girl, you know how many people buy from my company? You know how much marketing I do. You think I'm worried about you and your little friends? Girl, I know. You and your lawyer husband all your money, your lawyer husband just put $68 on Sezzle. Girl, please have several. Now I'm pissed. Like, I wasn't going to do this. But I am very much so. It is off of emotion. But I sat here and I prayed for a long time before I came on live. I still have a responsibility. And that is where sometimes it is very difficult for me, because a lot of things now with dealing with customer service, even though I have other customers and I can always talk about those situations, a lot of my teaching for customer service and how you handle things, making sure, like, in creative business, we just talked about terms, conditions, policies, and how you have to write them out to make them clear. So when I sat there and I was praying before this, everything comes back full circle, because I just taught this and I talked about how detailed it needed to be. And it is clearly written out on our website what the policy is. And they just need to be able to read it. Having those policies, sticking to those policies. We talked about how that affects customer service. We just had the session about not conducting business in DM or text messages, or even if you get a phone call, you follow it up with an email. So, because this one situation encompassed everything that we just had in one class. Although I could have just gone back to my creative business students, y'all know I like to give y'all some gems also. I had to come because this is something when you decide to do business, you are going to run into this. You are going to have people who are going to threaten to do everything, sue you, blast you on social media. But when you know, if you are doing business correctly and you have all of your ducks in a row, I don't want y'all to be scared because that's all it is a scare tactic. So now you without a refundable product. Oh, because you want to tell me that I'm not, I'm being petty. I'm petty over $68 that you put on Sezzle. Oh, I get it. Tone definitely matters. But at the same time, I don't know what make customers think you can continue to talk to folk any kind of way and that tone stays the same. So then you know what you can get? You can get the dial tone since tone matters. And I said, if there is, ma'am, because what I'm not going to do is ever sit there and let you just berate me. And because I'm in business for anybody. Because if you call you call any company, their customer service policy tells you if a customer goes acting crazy, all you got to say, they give you a little script and you can disconnect this call because like homegirl, what's her name on TikTok? Ma'am, I don't know who you're talking to, but this I ain't the one, the two, or the three. And at this time, and I put, ma'am, this does not seem like it's going to be resolved. So at this time, I am going to disconnect this call. We are not getting anywhere with this. So I am going to disconnect this call. She's still going off. So I hung up on her. So that's what she said. That was the first thing on her voicemail. You had the nerve to hang up in my face? Yeah, because I told you. I don't know who you talk. I didn't say that, but I'm like, ma'am, you're yelling at me. You don't want to hear nothing else. We're not going to get anywhere. You're not seeing my side. So at this point, there's no reason to continue this call. I mean, I could have just put you in my pocket and let you yell, but I just figured, I mean, if you start going, hello, 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 or you was going to hear music because we was going to ride in the car. We was going to ride out the music, or you can hear us talking about you. So I figured I'd just go ahead and end the call. You hung up in my face. I have witnesses here. You hung up in my face. I didn't hang up in your face. I see it. We're going to end this call. So a couple of things from this one experience. Told my husband, we now need the system to where, or to do the voicemail and do the system where all calls will be recorded. Now it's going to cost me more money because now I have to make sure that I pay for things to where these calls can be recorded. But quality assurance and for foolishness assurance. I always say, I don't let the man who gave me life speak to me like that. So you certainly won't. Amen and amen. Oh, for real? Oh, don't tell me that. Don't threaten me with a good time. Okay, cool beans. Glad to know that. So it's just like there was a situation. So the question or the title for this, not for you guys, but over here was customer service, good or bad customer service. What defines it? So for you, whether it's this situation right here, does it define good or bad customer service? A store credit is a refund for some, but others see a refund as give me my money back so I can spend it on what I want. I think that's an issue for wanting money back. I'm not showing that, Aquisha. Other companies do the same. I understand you, Chandra. Exactly. So let's see. Um, I know that. That's why I said you have to have the recording that says you are being recorded. I do this in every last one of my classes, but mind you, I say this all the time. Like everybody knows, you have all my classes are recorded. But anybody that takes my class also knows that before any class begins, I say you must write "I consent," even though it gives you the option to leave. I want that in writing. So trust me, I definitely know that you have to let them know that this call is being recorded for quality assurance. Um, yeah, exactly. So the issue, it's a gift card, and wait, it's a gift and a curse. Is that they are doing business with you as a person, not your business, which is why I think she took it so personal. And that is one of the reasons why we have a new business venture, and y'all will never know I'm associated with it. I promise y'all. And that right there, Chandra, is also one of the things that we are going to discuss in my creative business program. Right now, there is this culture of be the face, be present, you yourself. You need to get out there. You need to do live videos. You need to do this. You need to do that. To where I feel like it's making it to where people don't understand or don't know how to separate business from personal. You go and you see me as Shakia the professor. I'm on here. I'm helping you. You feel like I'm your home girl. You know, some people say, you're like my little daughter, my niece. So you see it. But then when I have to go business, it becomes a problem. This is something that I have been struggling with for the longest. In I've spent so many years being available, being so personable, um, and for like just kicking, like I mean, I just so is it going to get to a point now where I mean, look, you got to abide by the policies? Is it going to cause more issues? Is it that is it not to say it's like when you're starting a business, do you really need to be the face? Does it need to be your voice that they need to hear? Is it that they need to trust you? I've heard several, and I will say King from Penn Business Solution, he put it in a different way. But a lot of people use this like, no, trust, and they think that it has to be them that people like, know, and trust. And it really should be your business that people like, know, and trust. And your policies before you go in, I get it. It's a way for you to make money. People are saying you can make money, you can do this, you can do that. Trust me, I get it. You need to be able, some people need it to be able to make ends meet. But before, if y'all learn nothing else from this situation, before you go and give yourself a business name, you start taking money for things, don't let it be to where it's after the fact. Put those terms and conditions, put something out there. Like before you really get into this and or even if you've already done it, let today be the day that you work on your terms and conditions, and you have it, whether it's on your website, if it's a pin post on your social media, if you're reposted all the time on your business page. But you have to set the precedent. They have to learn to like and know your business, not you. Put out quality pictures, quality content. Make sure that you have a professional, everything is on the up and up, so they learn to like, know, and trust your business. I don't care if you're just starting up, because you don't want to run into these issues where people feel like they can come for you because it becomes a personal matter versus it being a business matter. Um, Sometimes customers feel like they have a right to be accessible to you and don't understand the boundaries between business and personal. Yes, groups are taking trips together. Where's the line? I mean, it depends on how that was done. Um, I think that you can be the face without being the voice. Just depends on how you're doing it. Um, and what she said, most of my customers have never seen my face. They just know the business name. Only because of live videos, people start to see my face. But ever since I started doing business on this platform, my profile picture has never been my face. Never been my face. It has always been one of our logos. I definitely realized that I have to revise my terms and conditions. Just showing the live. What issue are you addressing? If not too much trouble to repeat. It is a lot, but it was basically just dealing with customer service and how you handle things, and what defines good versus bad customer service. In this, it also, my goal was to let you guys know that the customer's not always right. They're going to always want to be right. And I understand that because they have given you money. This how much money I wasted this weekend, Lord Jesus. This resort that we went to. That's a whole nother conversation, Jesus, about people need to be very this was when did we have that conversation? We had this session. I think it was last year's creative business about words like using luxury and what people expect when you use certain words. Yes, you want to use these words to make it, to justify the prices that you charge. However, you have to be careful when you're using those words, that your business matches it. So when I hear the word resort, I don't expect to go into a resort and have dirty sheets. I don't expect to. That's a whole other topic. But on the business side, just know that it is okay to hold firm to your terms and conditions, especially when you have them in black and white. It's not terms and conditions that you just blurted to them after the fact, after something was wrong. The fact that it was listed in black and white, it can be reviewed. Now, whether they choose to review them or not, that is on them. But make sure that you are protecting yourself across the board. And you have, before you take a payment, make sure if you don't have a website, you're still doing business through DMs, inboxes, text message, emails, whatever it is. Make sure that that terms and conditions portion goes out with that quote or that invoice. She says, I need to add an exclusion for the quality of photos provided by the customers. We just went over that. So we just recently went over we went into detail and I gave them examples of how to write it. I don't know. I think the Shopify one, I did go into some terms and conditions, but my ones where I go into detail is always in my actual creative business programs. So last year it was the doctorate program. This year it's the creative business program. And you can still enroll in that. We meet tonight in about 2 hours. Via Zoom. So that when I get into detail is within my creative business. We work on the business side of this whole thing. Um, All right. So no one answered my question though. In customer service, and as far as what defines customer good or bad customer service, where did I fall at in that situation? I know my little animation I don't hope that I didn't like kind of really think about what was said in that situation. What was what was my rate of customer service? What was my level of customer service? Can you have the link? Oh, and if you sign up, technically, because I could not separate it, there is an automatic discount on the website for 24% off. So if you sign up, hey, you're going to get 24% off, because I couldn't separate the new classes and how I did that particular discount code. If you guys don't know, made it to the Final Four in men's basketball for the first time in school history. And y'all know I'm a Miami sports girl all day, every day. So we do, to celebrate, Canes win, basically, there is a 24% discount site-wide until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you just go to the site, it's right up underneath the main bar. So you have the main banner, you have the thumbnails for the summation collections based off of the various printers, and then right under that is the current and live trainings, and it might be like the third one. It says creative business. It's $500, and it is 3 months. You get the playbacks of all sessions. Okay, thanks. Definitely know about people getting too familiar when doing business. It gets tricky when you operate via word of mouth within an organization like your church or a full-time job. Even with them, like once they contact you about whatever services or products you provide, make sure that you that they understand that they're no longer talking to you. For you would be like Erica. They are speaking with Chosen by Erica, or whatever your business name is, and that everything on the up and up. They understand how this transaction is going to transpire. Perspective matters. I think you went above and beyond. She is unhappy because you didn't calculate. Okay. You definitely did everything you could to address the issue. Okay, I got 10s. All right, y'all telling me. Y'all don't gotta, that's how you feel. Let me know, because I was lost. I'm like, oh, not enough characters. But yeah, it's saying we think you did everything, even though yes, and I understand that. And this is what's going to happen with customers. And that is that's the whole purpose of this is you can do everything within your power. Sometimes you are going to get customers that their only resolution is to give them what they feel the resolution should be in their head. Like what they feel the resolution should be. So you can do everything else that's qualifies and defined as good customer service. But because you did not give them, you didn't resolve it how they felt you should have resolved it, it's going to be an issue. But you have to remember that it is your business, not theirs. There are certain things that you just cannot let a customer dictate about how you conduct business. And then it was so crazy because I'm confused now as to what you really wanted, because when I gave you the option to have the chips resent out, and the thing is, I wasn't even going to send it via USPS the fourth time. When I offered for it to be sent out, I was going to send it out UPS to ensure that you got this package. I was going to send it UPS. You told me, no, I don't want that. I've already lost money. I've had to turn away orders, and you telling me all of your sob story, but I'm not supposed to communicate with you what is going on, but you're just running down your whole sob story about the orders that you have lost and you did this, that, and the third. And I was even willing to send it via UPS. Sometimes as customers, y'all don't realize y'all will talk and anger your way out of a blessing. Let's go send it back to her via a better way, like a better source to ensure that you got it. But because you wanted to go and tell me you was going to sue me and make sure don't nobody come this way, girl, I don't care. At this point, I don't care. But the fact that like I offered this to you, you said no, you wanted your money back via Sezzle, and then you come back and leave me a message that says, if you can't send my product back, when I tell y'all, did not mention the refund, not once did she mention the refund in this message that she sent that was, being recorded. Hello, ma'am, it's a voicemail. Well, it's recorded for me, not for you. But it's being recorded in front of all these people. Not once did you mention, send me back my refund, how I paid for it. You now went into send me the product. The only thing that I can think of is the people who she was sitting with said, listening, because she had me on speaker, I swear to you, I think they said, woman, you done lost your damn mind. This girl just went above and beyond, and she even offered to send it back to you at no cost. And you over here tripping about 68 goddamn dollars that you paid for on Sezzle, and you only made one payment so far. You can't. I really think that's what they told her, because then she called back with a different tune and was like, send the product back. You just had this whole went off on me about your money. So no matter what you do, if they get to a point and they are at a point of threatening to blast you on social media, it's too far gone. Nothing that you can do short of giving them a refund, sending them free product, a gift card for a future purchase, sacrificing your firstborn, your first grandchild. Like at that point, when they get to that level where they're going to sue you, blast you on social media, make sure no one ever buys from you. I don't know how you think you're going to do that. But once they get to that point, y'all, wash your hand of it. Don't let those scare tactics get you to a point where you're not doing what you know to do as a business. I say that all the time. Some people start off right and talk their way to now being totally wrong. Exactly. Exactly. She says there was some miscommunication as far as shipping issues. However, I think you did try to fix the issue. That's better than ignoring her. There was no miscommunication except for the second one. The first one had nothing to do with us. The second time, I will say miscommunication between myself and Even, but I corrected it and there wasn't miscommunication, because even when I think I forgot which one, I checked it on one website and her address didn't come up, but it did come up on Waze. So did I get any of the chips back? We got one set back today. The other set, no. So I'm not sure if the other person, whoever it went to, if they returned it to sender, but the one that when it went to a business, that one we did get back. The court fees to sue are going to be more than the money she spent. Clearly, she lacks some common sense. I'm not gonna, for some people, it's worth it. It's worth it to prove a point, to pay out court fees, lawyers, all this, just to prove a point. Some people are entitled and spoiled. Unfortunately, she would probably have only been happy if you exactly. It's almost as if it was this big thing to force me to give her everything for free. Girl, please, that was not going to work over here. Don't let that work on y'all to where you do. And see, for me, it's a ready to ship product. I can only imagine for you guys where you are doing custom made things. You're making it by hand. It's like you had to go out and buy all of these different elements to put it together. And you guys let somebody bully you into making it where it's free. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Especially if it was no fault of you, of anything that you've done. For any of you guys that ship out, please make sure that you do have a policy. If it's for a specific deadline, if they do not order in enough time to where you can ship it out, one, when you're shipping, please give yourself a few more days. Yes, it'll say it'll get there in 2 days or 3 days, but for these custom items, try to at least get it out a week before. And the post office will tell you there's no guarantee. They have delays. Make sure that you guys have that, in writing, that should there be a delay, that it will not be a refund. You can offer a credit for them, for their next event or whatever, but you have to protect yourself, and you have to start today outlining those terms and conditions. All right. So hopefully that helped. I see some messages coming in that I want to answer before I go into my class. But I want you guys to also think about situations like this, and think about times where I thank you guys for saying that this was great, a great level of communication. However, I do want you guys to think about the times where it wasn't, not communication, customer service, where you did not experience good customer service, and ensure that your business doesn't fall into what you may have an issue with customer service. So don't be the things that you don't like. That makes sense. Like, if there are certain things that rub you the wrong way, don't be the customer that does that and feel that way. Like, when it's your fault and you're not taking responsibility at all. Don't be that. Because we all have experienced some bad customer service before. She says, no, ma'am, no freebies over here, no refunds on custom orders, period. Yeah. So, as I said, the website is 24% off. Go ahead over there, and I shall talk to you guys later. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.